We have already discussed a couple prophecies given by Joseph Smith that failed. How many more of these prophecies are there?
There are quite a few, actually, but all prophecies can be put into certain categories.
What categories are those?
There are 4 categories of prophecies. There are open-dated prophecies. These are easy because they are given without a specific time frame for their fulfillment. There are self-fulfilling prophecies. These can be fulfilled on one's own and can require no outside action or event. There are conditional prophecies. These only come true if a certain condition exists. If the situation changes, the prophecy may also change.
What about the prophecy of the temple that was supposed to be built in Independence, Missouri?
That one fits perfectly into the last category of prophecies, which are close-dated and unconditional prophecies. These are specific and must come true within a particular time frame, without any mitigating conditions.
The temple revelation was given on September 22nd and 23rd in the year 1832. Joseph Smith foretold of an LDS temple that was to be built in Independence, Missouri. That prophecy can be found in Doctrine and Covenants, section 84, verses 2 through 5 and 31. I'll read it. Yea, the word of the Lord concerning his church, established in the last days for the restoration of his people, as he has spoken by the mouth of his prophets, and for the gathering of his saints to stand upon Mount Zion, which shall be the city of New Jerusalem, which city shall be built, beginning at the temple lot, which is appointed by the finger of the Lord, in the western boundaries of the state of Missouri, and dedicated by the hand of Joseph Smith, Jr., and others with whom the Lord was well pleased. Verily, this is the word of the Lord, that the city of New Jerusalem shall be built by the gathering of the saints, beginning at this place, even the place of the temple, which temple shall be reared in this generation. For verily this generation shall not pass away until an house shall be built unto the Lord, and a cloud rest upon it, which cloud shall be even the glory of the Lord, which shall fill the house, which house shall be built unto the Lord in this generation, upon the consecrated spot as I have appointed. That is definitely an example of a close-dated, unconditional prophecy.
Over 185 years later, there is still no temple on the temple lot specified in this prophecy. Yet, early Mormon leaders made it clear that the word generation meant those who were alive when the revelation was given in 1832. 25 years later, President Heber C. Kimball still believed it, saying, quote, "There are holy places, and they will be held sacred even as Jackson County. And I shall yet see the day that I will go back there with Brother Brigham and with thousands and millions of others, and we will go precisely according to the dedication of the prophet of the living God." 29 years later, Elder George A. Smith still believed it, saying, "And let me remind you that it is predicted that this generation shall pass away till a temple shall be built, and the glory of the Lord rest upon it according to the promises." End quote. 38 years later, Elder Orson Hyde still believed it, saying, "We believe in the promises as much as we believe in any promise ever uttered by the mouth of Jehovah. The Latter-day Saints just as much expect to receive a fulfillment of that promise during the generation that was in existence in 1832 as they expect that the sun will rise and set tomorrow. Why? Because God cannot lie. He will fulfill all his promises. He has spoken, it must come to pass. This is our faith." End quote. 103 years later, Joseph Fielding Smith still believed it, saying, quote, "I firmly believe that there will be some of that generation who were living when this revelation was given, who shall be living when this temple is reared. And I do not believe that the Lord has bound himself to accomplish the matter within 100 years of 1832, end quote. Finally, after 140 years, the Mormon Church itself admitted this was a false prophecy. Joseph Fielding Smith admitted there is no expectation this prophecy would ever come to pass.
The facts are, history records that the area of Independence, Missouri was built up, but not by the Mormons. And the Mormon Church no longer owns the lot. The Church of Christ Temple lot, another Mormon sect, owns it and plans to build their own temple on it.
Unfortunately for the LDS, Joseph Smith fails to measure up to his status as a prophet of God.
Thankfully, God gave us a foolproof test to know if someone is a true prophet of God. It says in Deuteronomy 18:22, "When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the thing does not happen or come to pass, that is the things which the Lord has not spoken, but the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him." Joseph Smith has a big problem because even one failed prophecy disqualified a biblical prophet.
Latter-day Saints have to remember the promise of the Lord is recorded in their own scripture. Written on November 1st, 1831, as an introduction to the Doctrine and Covenants, section 1, verse 37, it says, "Search these commandments, for they are true and faithful, and the prophecies and promises which are in them," section 84 included, "shall all be fulfilled." End quote. Well, guess what? This is one of the many prophecies that were not fulfilled. Joseph Smith's status as a prophet of God must be removed, and with it, the foundation of Mormonism.